What up? This is Fendi Beats, aka Fendi the Beat Dealer. What got me started rapping was one day I went to my homeboy Lewis's house, and he was rapping on a karaoke machine, and he played it back for me, and I heard it, and I was like, wow, you can do that like that? And that's when I fell in love with it, and I just started making music. How I started off producing was because I couldn't afford to buy beats, so I had a PlayStation at the time, and it was called Music Maker, and I would just put loops together, and that's how I pretty much started producing. And I do it, because I fell in love with it ever since that first day. I went to my friend's house and just saw what he can do, and I just fell in love with it ever since. I started making music with my homeboy Lewis, which at the time his name was Mr. G, and me and him, we started a group called Player Made, and we were doing music together. And then one day we went to my friend Jerry's house, and they were doing music too. They were in the garage, and we went over there and we're like, what the fuck, y'all doing music too? And they had a group called Texas Made, so we kind of put it together, which was Player Made and Texas Made, and we would just do a lot of music, smoke weed, and just put it on cassettes, because at the time, that's when we were doing it. We were doing it on cassettes and stuff like that. I guess it felt badass. It felt cool, I guess, because you can go show your friends and shit, but I don't think it was cool because, I sucked at the time, so, but it was awesome, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Well, the person that supports my dreams and believes in me is my wife, and that's about it, I believe. A lot of other people didn't think that, they thought I was wasting my time, making beats and stuff like that, saying, man, you ain't gonna make no money out of this. Why are you doing it, But now I make some money out of it, I don't make a lot, but, I make a decent amount now, and I think that's the best part, is when you make money out of that. You could actually say, hey, look, this is my little hobby, and I can make some money out of it, The person who gave me a chance, well, I had a lot of people, a lot of friends that I was doing music with, and they knew people that were doing music, but they never introduced them to me. Maybe it was because I sucked or something, and maybe they just didn't believe in me. But the person that gave me a chance was, I'd have to give it to Life the G for letting me join Gutterville Music. It was kind of funny on how he gave me the chances, because this artist that I was fucking with, that I sold him a beat, well, he was trying to keep me kind of like on the low, and he told me that he was going to go record at Life's house, and that's when I was all like, well, you know what, can I roll with you? Because I already knew in my mind that I wanted to ask him, hey, we both got the same type of ambition, let's get this going, and not even knowing whether if he was going to let me join the group or not, but he let me join the group, and it's been on ever since then, man. But he was the one that gave me the big chance, and I had to give that to him. I feel like giving up all the time. All the time I feel like giving up. It's a lot of time away from your family, and sometimes you feel like, golly, man, am I really gonna make it? Is a big old artist gonna jump on my beats, or are the people gonna be feeling my beats? Man, you know what? People ain't buying my beats. It makes me kind of just feel a little down and feel like, well, maybe my beats just ain't good enough. But I guess that's what makes me just work harder and work harder and work harder and work harder to get it, just to get it to where I can get that feeling out of the way, where I don't have to be feeling like, oh man, you know what, I just want to just give up. I just keep at it, keep at it every day. As far as favorite rap artists, I believe my first one was Tupac, and then it was Eminem. But then my latest favorite artist right now would have to be 50 Cent. I really like 50 Cent, Who would I like to make music with in town? I would like to, be honest with you, I would like to make music with everybody in town. You know, so anybody that wants to work, you know, get at me. You know, I'm willing to work. You know, I want everybody jamming out to my beats. I want every CD that's out there. I want everybody to have a Fendi Beats on their album. You know, that's what I want. You know what I mean? I love working with local artists. You know, all of them. You know, everybody has talent. Some just have better talent than others, but definitely I do want to work with everybody. Ain't no hate over here. Just want to work with everybody. All right. The highlight of my career as a rapper was when I got better. When people didn't have to lower down my vocals. You know, when my vocals came out. You know, I guess that was a highlight for me, because people back then that I used to do music with. You know what I mean? That's just how bad I sucked at. You know, when my part came out, that they would lower it down. Now you got people, you know, turning it up. So, you know, I guess that was somewhat of a highlight. But highlight as a producer, it would have to be when I got Tommy G on the track, when I started messing with big artists, and then having like a Throat Essay and a Lucky Luciano, you know, working with artists like that, you know, to me that was like a highlight for me. You know, it might not be nothing to some of these new artists right now, you know, but to me as a producer, you know, I'm kind of old school. You know, I'm 36 years old, so them guys, you know, back in the days were like this shit then, you know what I'm saying? And I remember telling one of my friends in the early 2000s when I told him, I said, man, you know what? One of these days I'm gonna make a beat for these guys to jump on, and they're gonna jump on it. And he told me, he's all like, well, why would you want them on a song for? And I was all like, shit, dog, because they're popping right now. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, that's who I want. That's who I want on music. You know? Well, that was pretty much it about me. But you know, y'all guys wanna get at me for beats or whatever, you know, I am Fendi Beats, aka the Beat Dealer, and I also cut hair too. But you know, I ain't got too many clients, but I'm trying to build up on that too. But you know, I want to throw a shout out to Sharkman for coming by and, you know, spending this time, you know, coming over here and doing this. You know, I really appreciate that.
What's up, gente? It's your boy, Mr. Z. North the Weakest Records. La Familia comes first. Now, what got me in the rap game was, I think it was back in the day, 7 or 8 years old, jamming out to Kid Frost, or older hits like that, mimicking what they were saying, and said, hey, you know, I would like to do something like this. Why I like doing it? It's fun. The energy in it. You know, I want to be heard. I want to leave my mark. So when I'm dying, y'all gonna feel Mr. D after all. Working with Ice from the Ice House Records. Wouldn't mind working with Kid Frost, Ron Gotti, Be Real from Cypress Hill, Dr. Green Thumb himself. Just to name a few. The first song I wrote and recorded was Stepping Out Gucci. It's a good club feel. You always gotta feel Gucci, you know what I'm saying? When I recorded it, came out better than I expected. And it was like the beginning of a dream. What's my dreams? First off, I support my dreams. You gotta believe in yourself if you want to get anywhere in this game. Who else? My family. I always say it, almost on every track, La Familia comes first. And got a lot of friends, family, like checking it out, support what I do, try to get to the shows. But they do show support, a lot of family members, friends, and hopefully make you a friend. Hey, Dax, that vato there gave me a chance. Put me on shows, great causes, supply our students, Toys for Tots, just to name a couple. During the beginning when school's about to start, he throws a drive where kids can get free haircuts. So yeah, he's gave me chances right there. Another person gave me a chance, DJ Sharkman. Did a song, I'll tell you the name, Run Up. Watch for that one. Looking out now. And DJ Shorty. Of course, my songs get some ties, so when I go out there and put on a show, y'all feel me. Man, getting features in town, working with people in town, let me name a couple. Bino, cool cat, that boy Boyo, Joe Trippin, Ice, what's up on me? There's a lot of other ones, let me see. Split Beliefs, wouldn't mind working with them. Meta, that boy Greg. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind working with anybody in town. Producers, artists, singers, female singers. I just want to get Corpus on the map. It's our time. Now, highlights of the career, where does the list begin? Bun B show, opened up for Bun B. That was pretty bad. Popping bottles that night. Performing, opening up for Kid Frost. That was another great one. 666 Mafia, DJ Paul, opened up for that one. Great turnouts, great shows. The whole highlight is every time I'm on stage, basically. Seeing the audience reaction, people jump, everybody getting crunk. And it's only the beginning.
What got me started into doing music, well, was whenever my uncle passed away, my Uncle Abbott, from my dad's side. But it was even before that. A good friend of mine that I don't really get to talk to as much as I used to, Young Prophet, aka I Am Corpus. Grew up with the man, you know, knew him since I was like 11 at West Oso Elementary. I remember I saw him at McDonald's when McDonald's was open at Everhart and Holly. I was a manager over there, and you know, he needed a job, and I got him a job. You know, go down, you know, a few months, and you know, he started freestyling, and I didn't know what freestyle was. I was 18 at the time, and you know, I wanted to learn. I wanted to freestyle myself, and he just told me, he was like, you don't learn how to freestyle, you just do it. You know, and he really put me on game. Without him, I don't think I would be doing music like I'm doing it right now. So he's the one that got me started. But with my Uncle Abbott, I did not know he was a musician himself. Of course, he did not record nothing, but you know, he would write a lot of music. And you know, whenever he passed away, is when I found out that you know he wrote music. That day that he passed away was on a Tuesday. I remember I was working at CCISD, the Corpus Christi Independent School District. I was going to do an open mic night there, and well, I had a few songs recorded, but I was going to cover some songs. I believe it was the Marilyn Manson, Sweet Dreams, Papa Roach, Getting Away with Murder, and I don't know what the third one was, but I was supposed to go over there to House of Rock and, you know, go perform over there. And when I went over there, I remember they told me, you can't use your phone. No, I apologize. It was a CD. I apologize. Because I remember it was Reverend Matt. I did not know him. He did not know me. I'm pretty sure he thought I was a joke. And by the way, shout out to Reverend Matt, House of Rock. Yeah, he told me that I cannot use a CD. So the only thing I had was my phone with my music on it. So I came back home and I was like, you know, what can I do? What can I do? I used my phone. And I thought of my phone. I was like, you know what? I'm going to use my phone. So I went over there and, you know, I gave him my phone. I was like, well, can I play my music off my phone? They're like, oh yeah, you know, we got the auxiliary cord. And that's how I started. It was Ugly Swag, My Ghetto Symphony, and Heavy Chains. Those are the first 3 songs I've ever performed in my entire career at the House of Rock. That's where I got started. And, to this day, I'm still, doing it. I'm trying. I'm not the best, at what I do, but, I'm learning, each day. And each time I perform, I always, study myself. After my wife is recording me or someone's recording me, after a performance, I look at myself and I tell myself, okay, what can I do to improve myself? What can I do to make it better? What can I do to get more crowd involvement, crowd participation? Because, when you perform, you can't just be, doing the same thing over and over, and play your whole set without talking to the crowd. You're just performing one song after the other. It gets boring, it gets tiring, because you see it all the time. You know what I mean? And I know I'm not one to say, but hey, I've learned, throughout the years, and I'm not no vet yet, but I'm still a soldier. I've been in the music game for about since I was 20, maybe 21 is when I actually started recording and performing. I don't remember when my uncle passed away, but the day that he passed away is when I started, performing at the House of Rock at the open mic nights, which is on Tuesdays. And ever since then, even my kids, Malachi, Elena, Atlas, and then even my youngest son, Rai, they're the reasons why I keep doing what I'm doing, because I'm trying to build, something for them. And I remember my boss, and I still do, he still reminds me like, hey Rob, what are you gonna do when it comes to the point where you can either take off with your music or just be with your family? What are you gonna do? You could do music and make all this money and give your kids everything they ever wanted, but would you rather actually see them grow up? Because you're gonna miss that. It fucks with me. It fucks with me a lot, because I even talked to my wife about it when we went to Austin for the Make My Motherfucking Day tour with Scumming and St. Poetry in Austin, Texas, and it's something that people really need to think about before they even start thinking about starting a career with music. Because if you have a family, I'm gonna tell you this right now, it ain't easy. It's not easy whatsoever, because you go home, you got your wife, your husband, your children, they're happy to see you because you're all that they got. Yeah, they got a family, but you're their significant other, you're their parent, you're their guardian, they're everything. As to where if you're doing music, of course, if you're known, they're gonna want you too. So it's either, you go with your crowd, give the people what they want, or you go home to the family to get, what they deserve. It's really up to you, but that's the reason why I started doing music, and that's how I got started. I made a lot of music with a lot of people. If I don't mention the names, I really hope they don't get upset with me. Like I said, I've done music with a lot of people. The first people that I did start music with, like I said, before, Young Prophet, I Am Corpus, he was one of the first artists that I have worked with, because like I said, he's the one that put me on game. Then there's Escalade from Mill Gang. I made songs with, my crew, Colossal Black, J Boogie, Nightmares as well, as crazy as it sounds. I've done music with XP, Michael White, and 88 from Dark Street, C Unique, M Wrath, I've done music with. I've also done music with, trying to think, A1 Yola, Gutterville Music. I've done music with, a whole bunch of people, like I said, it's just hard to remember everybody because I work with so many people, Roach from Split Beliefs, Tommy Necro, we recently did a collab with. I've done music with, I'm doing music with Royal Flows right now as we speak. It's gonna be for the Robzilla Hoods of Horrorcore. It's gonna be all different types of, dark genre of music, but it's also gonna be more hood type. Just throw it in because the hood's a horrorcore. I've done music with Little J, XSP. I want to do music with C Frost. I'm trying to get Liquid Assassin on a song. 4-2 Records I want to get Doughboy or 42 Records on a song, Whitney Payton, Cryptic Wisdom. You know, I'm trying to get all these people, you know, underground names on a song with. But you know, that's basically what sums it up. You know, well, who I work music with. You know, as far as shows, I mean, I've done shows with one major one was Blood on the Dance Floor. That was amazing because I wasn't even expecting it. It was me and my wife whenever we went to the House of Rock to go watch their show, and you know, we just went there just to go see the show. And Reverend Matt, you know, of the House of Rock came up to me and asked me, "Hey Rob, I need to ask you something." And he pulled me to the side and he asked me, "We don't have an opener. Would you mind opening?" Of course, I'm like, you know, I couldn't breathe, you know, and you know, it was wild. I mean, it was just like, damn, you know, blood on the fucking dance floor, like me, shit. And you know, of course, you know, we did it. You know, it was me and Steel Trill. We did the show, and you know, it was really fun. I've done a music tour, a mini music tour with Liquid Assassin, Doughboy, Super Saiyan from Fort Worth, and you know, we're conducting a tour with me, Tommy Necro, and Split Beliefs for the mini Texas tour, which is the Infected in Texas tour, in August 2016. You know, I've done a show with DJ Clay from Psychopathic Records. I've done shows with Dapper Dawn, Eyes Low, Gutterville Music, you know, with a whole bunch of people, you know what I'm saying? I've opened up for a lot of artists. The next big one that I'll be opening up with, which is amazing, which I'm pretty sure y'all will, you know, see this by the time this comes out. That's gonna be in Spokane, Washington, with Paul Wall and DJ Clay. So you know, it's pretty fun, and you know, that's who I've worked with. The Funk and Roll off of Zillaland. That was the very first song I recorded, and like I said, that was with Young Prophet and Escalade. When we recorded it, it was at the factory with Sin, or I would call him Sin Dalin. He hates that. Why? Probably because that wasn't his name. The man Rich, you know, a very, you know, hard-working engineer when it comes to the studio game. Good people, really good people. If you ever come to Corpus Christi, work with this man, Rich, aka Sin, at the factory, or work with Johnny Moog from the Soul Shack. You know, personally, you know, good guy. I would like to say a good friend of mine, because you know, he's really cool. He's never done me wrong. And also LOB, Lord of the Boards. He owns Metropolis Studios, and all three of them are here in Corpus. If you're trying to link up with them, tell them Robzilla sent you. But the first song, like I said, back to it, the Funk and Roll. Man, when I recorded it, I am not gonna lie, we took about like 30, 40 takes. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, that took 30, 40 takes when they were just talking about nothing. Hey, when you first record and go into that booth, man, you're gonna be nervous as hell. I'll tell you that right now. You know, it's like eating a cherry pop. It was fun. It was really fun doing it. You know, again, when you step into the booth and you know, you put the headphones on and you know, they're about to record and they tell you, hey, you're gonna be ready, you're ready, let's, you know, let's do some takes, you know, get some levels and all that, and it's like, you know, what do you mean? And you know, you're just singing and you're fucking up, you're like the Funk and Roll, this is what I did. How did I do it? I'm trying to think, I'm trying to remember how the song goes, I already forgot. You see some gods, nigga? Fuck, let me retake that. You see some gods, nigga? You see some monsters? You see some villas? Retake. And that's how it was. And I don't drop the N-bomb. Yes, in Zillaland, I did. And I know I say I don't like dropping the N-bomb. Hey, you know what? I was in the beginning stages. Those were the beginning stages. You know, we all evolve, you know, as we move on, you know, with life and years, you know, doing music, as long as you stick with it. I mean, like I said, you learn from it. But, you know, recording the Funk and Roll and that being my first song, it was fun. It was a learning experience. And, I mean, all you can do is, you know, learn from your experiences. Because if you don't, and take that structured criticism from your engineers, your friends, or even people that you don't even know, and you don't accept it, well, homie, let me tell you this right now. You in the wrong business. when you first step on that stage, when you first get a good glimpse of that mic in front of you on that stand, when you first look at the crowd, you're just gonna be in awe. Whether you have a big crowd or no crowd. Because I've done it where there's nobody in the crowd and I'm giving it my 110%, and I've been doing it when there was a big crowd and I'm giving it my 110%. When I'm up there performing on that stage, you know, my own songs, it's a good feeling, you know, because you're telling people your story behind your song. You know, if they're actually listening to what you're saying, if your mic is clear, you know, the clarity of your voice, everything. And excuse me. When we're performing, or when I perform, you know, I like to, you know, get involved with the crowd, like I was saying before. And when I do, you know, it's like I'm not me. You know, as you see me right now, like, you know, why is Rob acting so, you know, calm and collective? You know, acting all humble. Is this like a show? No. This is how I really am. I'm really a dork. I'm really a goofball when I'm on stage. I am a totally different person. Totally different person. Because when you're on that stage, you got to show them who you are. You cannot be afraid. You cannot show no fear. You cannot show no nothing. You know, you got to shake them off. I get butterflies in my stomach all the time. I mean, to this day, even, you know, with the next show that's coming up, which I don't even know what's coming up next, but, you know, with any show, I'm always getting butterflies. And, I mean, you would think for doing it for so long that you wouldn't have them. No, you will have them. And that only means that you're going to have a good show. And you may think like, oh, fuck, I got to take a shit. No, you're going to have a good show. And don't be afraid to be you on that stage. And don't be afraid to, you know, say how you feel on that stage. Because when you're on that stage, hey, you have the floor. And everybody's attention is towards you. If you have people in the back talking, hey, you know what, don't worry about it. Because guess what? You got people in the front paying attention to you. And those are going to be the only people that are going to matter to you. Because those are going to be the people that support you from here on out. And I've learned that through the years, you know, with open mic nights. Like I said, that's where I started, at the House of Rock. And, you know, a lot of people ask me, you know, upcoming artists, you know, how did you start? And I tell them, I point at the House of Rock. That's where I started. And it's not easy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not easy, you know, performing, you know, to actually get up on that stage and, you know, do what you gotta do, because it's fun, but it's also a job. Because either you want to make something of it, or you're going to do it as a hobby. I mean, there's two types of people right now. You're in it for the business, or you're in it just for whatever reason, other purposes. Me, I'm in it for the business, because you know what? At the end of the day, I got a family to feed. You know, I got a life to live. You know, I'm doing this for you, because y'all are doing it for me. Without you and your supporters that are supporting you and your music like they're supporting me, I wouldn't be doing this. I probably wouldn't be here. I probably would have gave up. But you know what? It all started with one supporter. That's all it takes. Because guess what? That one person is going to be out there cheering you on, buying your merch, buying your CDs, making sure, you know, you're getting fed. And guess what? In return for them, they got something to look up to. Because it's up to you to make your dreams turn into reality. And, you know, like I said, you know, my kids look up to me. You know, I want them to know you could be whoever you want to be, whether you want to be a firefighter, you know, the president, which I really hope you don't, because I probably won't, you know, vote for you. You know, whoever you want to be. And, you know, me, I wanted to be a raccoon when I was little. So where does that sound? You know, how are you going to be a raccoon? Hey, you know what? You can be whoever you want to be. And that's the truth. And like I said, when you're on that stage, be who you want to be. Well, I would like to believe that people believe in me. You know, I can't say who believes in me and who doesn't, but I can say for sure that the people who do buy my merchandise, you know, believe in me. Because if they didn't believe in me, I don't think they would have bought, you know, a CD, you know, a t-shirt, or, you know, even a charm itself, which I'm trying to get in again. These are really hard to get, but I know my main people that really do support me is my wife, my dad, and my mom. Those are the three main people, other than my kids, but they're not really too big on that. They think it's cool, and sometimes when I'm putting on YouTube or whatever, and they're on Marilyn Manson, they ask me, "Hey Dad, is that you?" No, that's not me. And I just love the fact that my wife, my father, and my mother believe in me. But to be honest with you, I'm gonna get a little deep into this, what I'm about to tell you, and I'm pretty sure the people that I'm about to expose are not gonna like it. But I just want them to know how I really feel. My mom and my dad. And I apologize if I get a little emotional. It's just something that I really feel like I want to release, because this is probably gonna be the best way and the only way I could tell them. My mom wasn't really there. She was always gone. She was at work. Take care of 3 kids. Me being as the oldest, I have to take care of my 2 sisters. And, it wasn't easy, especially growing up. Being skinny and wimpy. But the bullies, it sucks. I always wanted to make my mom proud. That's all I ever wanted. My mom and my dad, anybody just to feel proud of me. And to this day, I really hope that my mom's proud of me, because I've sacrificed so much, spending time with my kids, sacrificing work hours, sacrificing just being around friends, family, help, people that really care about me. But as I was saying about my mom, when I first started doing music, I showed her my very first song, which was the funk and roll, and she didn't really pay much attention to it. I don't even think she remembers, to be honest with you. It sucked, because it's like, it's like I said in my song, the song with JV, I forgot how it goes, Someday. The very first 2 bars I say, or the very first bar I say in my song, Someday, I thought every mom wants to be proud of their child. It seems to me what my mom was in denial. I really meant what I said on that song. Because I wanted people, especially my mom, to believe in me. And my dad. I remember when I first got to meet him. I didn't know him for about 13 years of my life. In the beginning of my life, when I first met him at 13, I want to say about 2 years in, I wanted to start doing music. And I remember I was in his white rodeo, that little Jeep truck thing, and we were driving, and I was writing the song. I was like, "Hey Dad, check the song out." And of course, he's with his girlfriend, at the time. And I tell him like, "Hey Dad, check out this song." "All right, show me, son." I'm singing it to him, and then after I'm done singing, I'm like, how'd you like it? Turns down the fucking volume. What? That was his response. How are you supposed to feel about that? When you show your parents your song, you would think that they'll be like, "Hey, good job, let's fucking slap it on the fucking refrigerator so everybody can fucking see, right?" That's why, I cherish and love, everybody that does, actually follow me and support me. There's times where I'm literally giving out free merchandise. I'm supposed to be, making my money back. But I do it because, I appreciate the fans that are actually listening, or at least I hope they're listening. One fan, or supporter I should say, a really big one too, Erica from Alice, Texas. Her and her family. Man, I can't describe the words of support that woman and her family give me. It's a good feeling to feel. And I don't even know how she heard about me, to be honest with you. I just remember I was in the Blinsky outfit. I believe it was during the summer. I was in the Blinsky outfit. It was Lemonade Day. I still have the pictures of it. I was Blinsky. I was walking down with my wife. We weren't married yet, but we were dating, and we were in love. And we were walking, and I remember Erica came up. Hey, I remember you. And of course I can't talk because I'm Blinsky. Blinsky doesn't talk in a suit. I remember she was asking about merchandise, and of course my wife was like, yeah, we got t-shirts right here, and she bought a t-shirt, and she was like, oh yeah, I need to get me, a chain and all this and that, and it's good, to know that people are actually paying attention to you and watching you. And it's like I tell a lot of people that are doing this music, that I feel are serious about this. You never know who's watching and who's paying attention. You will never know whether it be someone that supports you or someone that hates you. And, just like I want to tell my mom and my dad now, I forgive y'all. And I'm sorry if I wasn't, the son y'all wanted me to be. But, I just hope y'all are proud of me. And if anything were to ever happen to me from here, or maybe even tomorrow, or if you see this and I'm gone, just want you to know, thank you, now for, bringing me here, giving me life, because without y'all, I wouldn't be where I am at right now. Just want to say I love y'all, because I never told you, Mom. I've never told you I love you, and that's on some personal level shit. I've never told my mom I loved her, so I just really think this is the time I should tell her right now I love you, Mom. Whenever I became how I am right now, I wasn't always, this nice. I was a very bad person. And some people may say this as an excuse, but this is the truth. In 6th grade at West Oso Elementary, it was the last day of school. Whenever last day, you wear your white t-shirts and people get their markers and say, have a nice summer, or I can't wait to see you next year, something nice. Well, my friend Ernest got a marker, and I would think that, he's gonna write something nice, because, we live in the same duplex over there at Casa de Mañana, off of Old Brownsville Road here in Corpus Christi, Texas. He wrote, "Kick me," on the back of my t-shirt. And, like I said, I've been bullied, most of my life. When he wrote that, it sucked, because I didn't know. I thought he wrote something nice. And, people started kicking me. It's like, I'm used to it, so I'm not gonna, worry about it. I'm like, whatever, it's just the same old bullies. I'll let it go. Well, I got kicked so much, on the butt, that, I just broke down and started crying. And, we're all going inside, and of course, I'm in the fetal position, and I'm crying. And I will never forget this man's name. And I do forgive him for what he did, but I will never forget his name. Ruben Garza, or Garcia. I just remember it started with the G, and I don't know if it ended with the Z or a Cia. But that man Ruben came up from the side of me and kicked me in the head and gave me a concussion. And after that, my life was never the same. Having hallucinations, hearing voices. I got sent to the mental hospital because of that. And some people wouldn't share this, with other people, because it's a personal thing, and I've never shared it with a lot of people. But I think now I feel comfortable enough to say it, because you know what, I don't care, what y'all would think about me when I'm telling you this, because this is one thing I want y'all to know who I really am on the inside, and this is why I feel like I am a split personality of Rob Zilla and Blinsky, because most of y'all know that Blinsky is me. I am the voice of him, But yeah, after that day, in the 6th grade, getting that concussion, nothing didn't seem right. Like I said, hearing voices, seeing hallucinations, people that I would draw, and I call them Korokuri people. Why Korokuri? don't have the drawings now, but the way they looked, I mean, they had like, you know, pointed ears like elves, you know, daunted faces like mine, you know, and I trusted them. You know, they'll tell me that everything's gonna be okay. And as crazy as it sounds, and I know most of y'all are saying, Rob, you're fucking bullshit. I can call your bluff. I'm gonna say this right now. The people that I would draw are here in my life today. As crazy as it sounds, I was in theater arts. After the year after that, so I was in the 7th grade. In the 6th grade, it was considered elementary whenever I was going to school. If you don't believe me, you can ask all the people from my class of 06 that whoever went to West Oso, 6th grade was in the elementary and was not considered junior high. So in the 7th grade, I was in theater arts, like I was saying, and I would draw these people. And I would show my mom these pictures, and, you know, of course, she didn't pay no mind to it until, you know, it got really serious, but that's going to be another story for another time. But the people that I would draw, you know, people with dreads, you know, these hand things, you know, the clothing, you know, everything I have in my closet, the black and white dreads, you know, the bandana, the crazy contacts. There was this one bald dude that I drew, you know, a big muscular dude, just bald, no hair on his body. And I have to say that's nightmares. Even though he's not big and muscular, but I mean, he has, you know, it's a disease, and I know I shouldn't be talking about this, but, you know, he is hairless. And, you know, Colossal, you know, Jay Boogie, Prophet, Escalate, the people that I would draw, I mean, these are who they are today. It's like weird, like how I made these people up in my head and then just brought them up to reality. Like the way I dress on stage is how I would draw these people. Crazy as it sounds, and I know like you're saying, oh Rob, I'm not listening to music now, you're probably the devil or something. No, this is on some real shit on a personal level, you know, and I'm only sharing this with you because, you know, the man behind the camera, Shark Man, you know, he's a really good person, and, you know, it's just, you know, the question before this, you know, you gotta give me a moment, you know, because, you know, I got really emotional, but I feel I have to tell y'all that don't think that whatever you have as a disease or anything that you consider a handicap is a handicap. Use it to your advantage. You know, whatever you feel like you create in your mind, make it into a reality. Because I kid you not, those are the things that will guide you. And if you don't believe me, why don't you look at your favorite artist or favorite underground artist and ask, how did they do it? What did they do? How did they become who they are? How did they make their character? You know, it's just I don't even know how to end this. So I'm just gonna end it like that. I'd like to personally thank everybody that just watched this interview. Thank you, Mr. Sharkman. Thank you, Nightmares. Thank you, Babe. Thank you, Mom, Dad, everybody that watched this video. Like I said, everybody that supports me, supports Robzilla and Ugly Swag Entertainment and the following and the movement itself. You know, thank you. There's more to come, you know, with the music and the videos. And, you know, just thank you. I don't know what else to say. I mean, there's no words that can describe how much I appreciate everything that goes on and the blessings that come into my life.
Y'all, it's your man Be No Other, aka Be No 420, aka Bad Reputation. You know what it is. You know, way I got started, I guess, in this music thing, probably back in 99, 2000. I have to say early 2000. With the group from here in the city of Corpus Christi called the Wood Boys, and like brothers to me, you know, helped raise me pretty much. All grew up on the same street, Madrid family. Shout out to Madrid Block, Greenwood family. And, you know, it just went from there. One day we was in the studio. Matter of fact, we was at G Studio, G from MBK back in the day. It was a group called MBK with Silk. Shout out to Silk. And to G, shout out to G, man. And, you know, it all started in their backyard, their studio. I just remember my brothers being in there, you know, recording their album, and you know, I'm just being there, and you know, they needed an introduction and how we were gonna get something done, and the intro turned into another song. It happened, you know, it all started to be like that, and I ended up just getting the opportunity to lay something down, impress some people, and just went from there. Well, let's see. Started making music with probably my brothers, the Wood Boys. Before then, I started off as a dancer. I was always in the hip-hop scene. There was something about choreography and dancing, and back then when I was up and coming, you know, Usher was just now coming out and, you know, doing all the moves and the finesse and the routines have you, you know. It got me into something where I wanted to be like it. I wanted to do just like him. I wanted to dance the way they dance. And I ended up starting a hip-hop crew up in my local high school, Moody High School. And, you know, went from there, back up, you know, being a dancer, choreography. And then just one day, you know, I always had a thing for writing music, poetry. English was my best class. And like I said, one day just had the opportunity with the Wood Boys to be able to show them what I could do. And went from there. And that's what I started my music with. Then I went on to a group with PJE, Cruz Martinez's brother, Freddie Martinez, from Cumbia Kings. You know, Freddie Martinez had his group PJE. And, you know, shout out to them, man. They showed me a whole other side of this music industry that I had never seen. You know, being like rock stars in other countries, you know, where they you know, worship the ground that you walk on. You know, it's an amazing feeling, and to be able to give something back where they accept it and they, you know, show that type of, I guess, enjoyment. You know, it brings a lot of fulfillment to your heart, you know, as an artist. And then from there, back up dancing for my man Jay Cano, aka DJ Kane. What's up, Jay? And you know, growing into the solo artist that I am now, being able to go from Spanish dancing back to the English market, and just able to learn a whole side of the business nobody's ever able to see. It's a good thing. I guess having that feeling of being able to do my first song, writing it, recording it, you know, it was starting off with the Wood Boys. I was able to jump on one of their tracks off the Yard album, and you know, had some features here and there, but to be able to take it back to writing like a first class, you know, solo artist type of track, you know, I'd probably have to go with Don't Act, which was a single off my last mixtape. And it's basically, you know, just letting people know, like, don't act like you don't know my name, you know. A lot of people have overlooked it, what I do, and have always, the people that have known me say, man, you've been in it for so long. And the people that don't really know me never knew me to be in it at all, only because I never really had projects put out. I mean, there's a 6-letter word that a lot of people tend to forget that us real ones have, and that's called family. You know, we gotta do what we gotta do for them first, you know. At least my priorities are like that. And the ones that are able to have the finances, the ones that are able to have, you know, the help and the support and the sponsorship and loans and everything, whatever it is that you want to call it, you know, by all means, you know, it's a good thing to be able to have it, to be able to put your music out there. But there's a lot of unheard talent, especially in our city, especially in my area, especially people that you can walk by all the time and wouldn't even know that they do music, and they'll blow your mind like you've never heard nothing before in your life. And like I said, it goes back to being able to get that type of exposure with the Wood Boys, probably, I would have to say, back then. And then doing my own thing as a solo artist with Don't Act. You know, those are two powerful moments for me in my career that highlighted a lot of what it is that I learned along the way. So shout out to them, man, and shout out to everybody else who stuck along for the ride. It's been a little bumpy ride, but it's been one hell of a ride, though, you know what I mean? So, what's it like to perform my songs? Man, let me tell you. For the artists that know what I'm about to say, they know exactly how I'm explaining it, how they feel it. They can see it, they can feel it. You know, when you know you're about to hit the stage, and you know that there's people in the crowd that are expecting you and people in the crowd that don't expect you because they don't know who you are, it's a bittersweet situation. It's kind of like playing in a playoff or a championship game, you know. And you might be playing over there, And yeah, you're the underdog, you're the away team. You know, the odds are in the home team's favor. But what they fail to realize is that when you bring what you know you have to the table, when you bring it to that stage, you know, it just sets off a whole nother type of momentum. People can't deny what they feel. And I say that with everything that I have, because people can say to the most that they're not too familiar with an artist. They don't like this artist. They feel like, nah, man, I'm better than this artist. But the songs that stick, if you see them perform, you know, your head might not be bobbing that much, but it's still moving. You know, they say the world turns and it's steady moving, but yet we can stand still if we like. But yet the music moves you. Your toes tap, you vibe side to side, your head kind of gets into it. You think about it, you're humming stuff. You know, you're doing all these things because your body is feeling it, and because as an artist, as a musician, as a producer, as anything having to do with this music, you know, you can't deny what it is that makes your body and your mind feel good. So being able to perform a song, being able to go up there and being able to, my thing, I love to go first. It's always been a thing to go first. You set the bar so high, people anticipate the start of the show. They want the show to start already. So they ever ask me, hey, Bino, you ready to go first? Hell yeah, I'm ready to go first. Because I'm finna set the bar so high with a lot of momentum, with a lot of energy. You know, my stage presence and my crowd interaction, they all bring a highlight to my table. So performing your own songs, yeah, I say that's probably the most glorifying thing in this rap game. Like scoring your touchdown, or like hitting your three-pointer and the crowd's just roaring behind you. Those are all feelings that can relate to a performer on stage, in my opinion. You know, I probably have to say I have two true supporters, and I say this with the utmost respect. You know, I would have to say first and foremost my 12-year-old son, Jadrian. I mean, he's my backbone. He's my son. He's always gonna want what daddy wants. But at the end of the day, he's always been straight with me. He'll tell me just like it is. He ain't hesitant to tell me just like it is. And I honestly think that everything else he's been quick to tell me, Dad, you don't need to do this. Dad, do this differently. Dad, stop doing this. The music, he knows. He's like, man, Dad, you need to go get that, because a lot of artists aren't doing what you're doing. You know, my son was able to identify the difference between a rapper and an artist. He said a rapper raps and raps for their friends and girls and to impress people, but an artist does it for the art of the music, to be able to do it in any type of crowd, in any type of situation, for the love and the passion of it, not for the money, not for the fame. I mean, at the end of the day, we all do this for money. Our goal is to be able to do this, wake up in the morning and do it as a living, to be able to support our kids and our families, you know, with that income. But that don't happen all the time. And therefore, people need to understand and notice the difference in the two. You know, you're always going to have your rappers and you're always going to have your artists. You know, and to me, I'm neither one. I'm an entertainer. You know, my main thing is to get on stage and entertain for people. To say, man, you know what? I paid $20 to come see this one artist, but I got to see Bino, and on top of that, he gave me more than what I paid for, and he wasn't even the main act. I mean, at this point in time in my career, you know. And I would say the other person that supports my dreams, my boy Joe. Shout out to Joe. He knows who he is. Joe Diaz's. Never had a bad fallout with my homie, not once. I mean, he's been there since day one. When I first started, when I would tour all over, when I would, you know, leave and come back home, you know, he was still the same one there. So shout out to him, shout out to my son. I would say those are the two people that fully support what it is that I would like to do. And for that, I'm grateful. Appreciate you. Man, I still remember like yesterday, first time I ever really got on the stage, period. Whether it was as a dancer, as an artist, rapping, whatever. It all started as a dancer. It was Concrete Street. I remember Naughty by Nature came down the headline. And back then, I was in high school. Me and a friend of mine, kind of like a brother, Leonard Harris, aka Nook Nook. Me and Nook had got asked, well, I had got asked to be a dancer for a group that a homie, longtime homie of mine, Sammy, from Happy Alone at the time. What up, Sammy? Sammy was putting together a group that consisted of 2 solo artists from here in our local area. One of them was Skagnetti. What up, Skag? And another one was, at the time, PB was stood for Player Baby, which is now AKA Johnny Moog, for all y'all that didn't know y'all's history. Johnny Moog and Skagnetti were kind of getting a collaboration thing together called Organized Rhyme. That was under Sammy and Happy Alone at the time. And they needed some backup dancers. So I asked my boy Nook. He agreed. We both came. We started doing the rehearsing, and I would say that was the first time that I was actually given a chance to showcase and highlight on a big stage with big production what I could do. And I'll never forget, I even had my little brother, who's now grown up. At the time, my little brother was like 8. He was acting as if he was the DJ. We had playback of the turntable scratching. He had the headphones on. I mean, he had the crowd going crazy before we even came out. So it was kind of like just icing on the cake. It was me, my little brother, and my homie, you know, dancing and getting, I mean, at the time, 10,000 plus people. I mean, this is when Corpus Hall had support for the local music and stuff. And I mean, I'll never forget that stage. I'll never forget that crowd. That was probably the first person that gave me a chance to show what I could do. Appreciate you, Sammy. Do I ever feel like giving up? Of course I feel like giving up all the time. Who doesn't? I mean, it's a feeling that sets into reality. You know, when it ain't working in your favor, when you probably trying to play checkers and really it's chess. I mean, those are all things that can confuse you in the long run. Small pictures, you might see the small pictures and you're trying to piece it all together, but really you fail to realize, you know, you're putting a little piece of the puzzle here and another piece of a different puzzle and another piece when instead of working on that one puzzle. And you know, the things that made me give up, want to give up, shall I say, want to just end it and hang it up, it's just reality. I mean, knowing that I got to get up every day to go to work like a normal person, because at the end of the day, we're all normal people. Some just have the ability to wake up and do this for a living, and others got to go hang scaffolds and be in the heat, you know? At the end of the day, I mean, everybody wants to give up. If you give up on something, you'll always say, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't say I gave up. I just say that I have my priorities in a different order than most people. If you have it, you have it. I salute you. I don't have it, and that's just being real. You know, I would never falsify anything that I say. I got this and I got that. And I don't. I got me, and I got what I can bring to the table, and I got my pride. You know, everything else will fall into place when it's ready. Until then, I'm just gonna keep pushing the way I can, keep doing what I can do, when I can do it, and like I said, everything else will fall into place. So for all those that feel like giving up, don't give up. Just understand that your priorities might be different than others, and it doesn't make you wrong in any kind of way. They might be wrong. So just follow what your heart tells you. That's all I can say. And just completely don't give up. Man, I probably have to say right now, past couple years, past few years, whatever, probably Burner from Taylor Gang. He's in the same music family as Wiz Khalifa, Chevy Woods, Snow the Product. Sauce Walker, I'm apparently hearing now, just signed with Taylor Gang. But regardless, I mean, I commend the man for doing everything he's been doing. You know, if you just look up that name, he's got a lot going for himself, and he keeps it real. You know, he is who he is. He's all independent. He's been grinding for many years before I even found out who he was, and you know, it's all about who you tend to grow on, who tends to grow on you. And the fact that Wiz has always been one of my favorite artists too. And I know rappers, you know, but I'm also into singers. I'm also into composers. Like, for instance, Justin Timberlake is a real big inspiration for my music. Only because he's innovative, and only because, you know, he's a ladies' man. You know, at the end of the day, I do music about things that I'm very familiar with. Women happen to be one of them. You know what I mean? You know, I look into past the rap, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Bobby Brown, big Bobby Brown fan. I mean, I'm a huge Bobby Brown fan. And, there's nothing that I don't like as far as different artists and what they bring to the table. You know, I could mash it all up together and do something crazy with Johnny Gill's another one. I mean, these are all people that have some type of influence in my music. So being able to have that road paved for me to be able to listen to them growing up as a human being and as a young teenage man, you know, I'm very grateful for the people that put me on them. So thank you very much. And you know, there's a lot of great artists here in the city. You know, I'd say right now on my end, you know, I'm really looking into working with Gabe Parker. I mean, me and Gabe already worked on a project together, Drama, you know. I've also, you know, DJ Kane, good homie of mine, we got a track together called Feel So Good. You know, these are artists that I've always kind of like, man, you know, I want to do something so commercial with, you know. Big ups to every other artist, you know, but like right now, me, I want to work with Jared Wyatt. Not a lot of people are too familiar with the name. They might see his face and be like, oh, I know who that is. But, you know, Jared Wyatt's one. I'd probably have to say CG the Boss Man. That's another one. Shout out to CG. And, you know, other than that, you know, every other artist that's here in the area, I'm always up for working. I'm always up for features. I'm always up to help and collab and, you know, be behind the curtains. I just love being around the whole, you know, life and environment itself. But right now, I would have to say, right now, probably Jared Wyatt is the one person I like to work with. Man, I'm glad I was able to share a lot of my story with you. Glad I was able to tell you the ins and outs on my career and what I had growing up as a young adult. You know, being able to see a lot of the music. You know, good and bad, at the end of the day, this is all part of my life. This is all something that I'm going to share with my kids, and they're going to be able to pass it down. And whether we all make it big time or not, turn big time, at the end of the day, we made some noise hits. All of us, every single one of us made some noise. And our kids and their kids are going to go back and say, man, from the pioneers to the new generation, I mean, it was all something that Corpus has implanted in this city. So appreciate y'all taking the time to hear it. Shout out to everybody, man, from the Wood Boys to DJ Kane, Cruz Martinez, from Cumbia Kings, Freddie Martinez. I mean, the list goes on and on. Gabe Parker, Too Swift out there in LA, DJ Heavy Hands, that's another person I forgot to shout out. Everybody, I mean, my whole family, my whole squad, but a big shout out to the main person who gave me a chance as a solo artist to say, you know what, do what you gotta do, and we got you 110%, is my man A.B. Burnell, man. A.B., love you, dog, big brother, you know what I'm saying? That's Mr. Bad Reputation, mind you. I just represent, you know, that's my family. On this music tip, I represent. Shout out to my brother Boyo, Dondo, Boney, J-Rod. You already know everybody in the whole Bad Rep squad. But big shout out to AB, man. You know, that man put me on, and for that, Bad Rep all day for life. You already know what it is. Shout out to DJ Shark, man, Deep Water Records, and everybody else out there, man. 361 family, Greenwood all day, Madrid Block. It's your man Bino. Much love.
UW Fat Nuts, UW, coming out of the west side of Corpus Christi, 361, corner of, what are we, on the corner of Karen and Greenwood right now. About to do this little interview. Hope you get to know me. And let's do this. Let's go. Shit, the real reason that I really got into rapping was because I thought money was going to come easy with it. I was a young, poor kid, about 15, 16 years old, watching my friends do it. Jeff and Isaac, we were in a group called Warfare Records. We used to mess around real hard on TexasMusic.com. We were in the online discussion boards, always in there bullshitting with everybody else. But they're the ones that really got me wanting to rap, because I would see them do it, and that just had me feeling like I could do it. Like, I feel like I had more to say than them, not to talk down on them or their rapping or nothing, but I just felt like if they could do it, I could do it. And then another reason was I thought I was gonna get lots of girls. I mean, growing up, I didn't have this nice long hair, I didn't have my beard, so I mean, I thought I was gonna get girls. I thought girls were gonna come fast. I thought they were gonna come and go quick, but girls didn't come as quick as they should. And yeah, that's pretty much what got me into rapping. I mean, women and money. I mean, that's what they're all the rappers. That's the biggest dream of a rapper. So I guess that was mine when I first started. You know, so that's how I got started. Let's see, some artists that I've worked with in the past. I've worked with my friend. He's gone in the army now, to salute him. His name was Isaac. Well, we called him Stick Figure. He was a real gangster ass spitter. He made me want to come hard on all my fucking songs. Cause I mean, that little Mexican could rap his ass off. And then there was my friend Jeff. He was more of a lyrical rapper, like Eminem or Obi Trice, something like that. His name was Jeffro. But me and him, we did a whole album together that got lost thanks to my computer crashing. But let's see. I used to make not really music, but I got down with the Zoo, Public Zoo. I got down with Wasted Talent, Flat Broke Hustlers. But we did a lot of shows together, but we never really made no music together. But we did a lot of shows together. So I mean, I can't really hate on the situation because they put me on and they helped me develop to get me to where I'm at now. So I mean, if I had to go through all that shit again, I'd do it again, because I mean, I feel good about myself right now. I'm a solo artist. You won't catch no features, no nothing on none of my music. I mean, all me, all lyrics, choruses, everything done by me. But yeah, I mean, that's who I used to mess with. Shout out to them. Hopefully they're still all doing good, because shit, I'm doing pretty good right now. So that's about it. Shit, my first song that I ever recorded by myself was called Underrated, and it was to a Young Buck beat. But it was the first time that I actually stepped into a legit recording area. There was his name was Kyle, but we called him Special K. It was his what do you call it, a closet, but I mean, it was official. It had the padding in it. It had a good microphone. But that was my real first official song that I recorded for an album that we did together. But that was my first song that I actually put my heart and my work into. And it was a lyrical song. It was called Underrated. I really can't remember none of it right now, but I'll tell you this little story. I remember that these girls heard it and they said, I said, what is this? They go, we don't want to hear this. They're all, what? We don't want to hear about your problems. We want to dance, want to shake our ass. So I've always used that as motivation to just do what I want, because, I mean, that bitch was dumb. I mean, shit, man. How you going to tell me what to rap about? I mean, come on. You know, so that's what it was like recording my first song. I mean, my first official song. I have it somewhere, and I was thinking about re-putting it out, but that's just in the past, and I think I'll just leave that there. I mean, who knows? And maybe one of these days when I pass my discovery will be broken into and they'll all be put out. But as far as y'all hearing that, I think I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm done with that one. But yeah, we're not gonna put that song down. No way, not right now. Shit, when I perform my songs, it's almost like I'm on stage and I see myself in the crowd, like, damn, that's me actually doing that shit. Because growing up, I never won no awards, I never did shit. But like with this music, it's something that I actually do myself. I mean, I write everything, I perform everything, no backup vocals. I don't rap to myself. I mean, I'll go on stage and maybe because I'm a little overweight, you might hear my chorus. But I love performing my music. I mean, it's one of the best feelings in the world. I really can't even explain it to you. I mean, even doing a simple open mic to me is like having the biggest show in the world. Because every show I do, I feel like I'm the main focus, and I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to sound big-headed or like I'm the shit, because I know there's lots of other artists out here that are more talented. They put in a lot more work than I have, but I feel like every show I do, and maybe some other artists should feel the same way, but you should always feel like everybody's there to see you. And if they're there to see you, why do you want to, I mean, shit, let yourself go, have some fun. I mean, it's music. You're not supposed to go on stage and put on an act, but don't, have fun with it, you know? I mean, just have some nice, you don't have to have clean fun. You can have any kind of fun you want, but shit, just have fun with it. I mean, that's what I do. I go on stage, let my hair down, do my thing, you know? That's what I love about rap music. I mean, no one can tell me how to do it. So, yeah, that's how I do my thing. That's what I love about it. Let's see, a couple people that believe and support me. I hope my little family does that I got right now. Hopefully they support me. I mean, I'm more than sure they do, but you never know. I mean, they could think this is a big bad idea, but as far as right now, everybody's on my side right now. My mom and my dad, most definitely. I think if they didn't like it, they'd probably tell me sooner than later to quit that shit. But who else supports my dreams? Let's see. Hopefully, I want to say he does, but I want to give a shout out, even if he doesn't, Nico G from the Young Rollers, because that guy's a real big inspiration to me. So I want to say, hopefully he believes in my dreams. Cause shit, there's times whenever I don't want to do this shit no more, where I look at all the struggles, everything, and that's motivation right there, just do me. I mean, what else can I do? I mean, I gotta do it. I gotta make something happen. This is the only thing I've done with my whole life. I've quit everything else that I've done, and this is the only thing that's remained solid, is making music, writing raps, freestyling, whatever. I mean, it's all music. I mean, that's all it's come down to. That's all that's left to do. So I gotta make them proud. My cousin Sandra, I gotta give a shout out to her. Her and her husband Scott gave me my first recording program, the Acid Pro. They gave me that when I first started rapping, and I still use it to this day. So I want to say, hopefully she believes in me, because that's another big inspiration in my life right there. My cousin Sandra, I love her. And that's probably about it. I can name a bunch of other people that probably don't want to see me succeed, but you know what? It's not about that right now. We're talking about the love, and that's what we're doing right now. So that's all I can come up with. See, a couple people that had gave me a chance in this rap music. I gotta say, Monstro, Stro, Isaac Nolte. He put me on a lot of shows. I mean, a lot of shows. I mean, he didn't have to at the time, but he put me on a lot of shows. So he gave me a chance, and some will say I blew that chance, but I made the most of it while it lasted. Isaac Nolte, yeah, he gave me a chance. Nico G put me on a show before, but I came totally unprepared for that show. I was not ready, I admit. I forgot the words that night. I mean, I was shook, because it was a hood-ass show down there. It was across the street from the old Buttercrust station. But it was a gangster-ass show. I mean, it was filled with weed, fucking gangster-ass bitches there. I mean, it was fucking lit. I mean, and I was there, me, UW Fat Nuts, going to speak on some real shit that night, and that shit didn't really work out too good, but he gave me a shot. We ran with it, and that's about it. I mean, I've never really been given an opportunity in the town. People usually see me or they hear my music, and they're like, it's a little different, but I mean, maybe things will change. People might see this and want to give me a shot. Just know I've been putting in work, and I'm here to work. Work, work, work. That's my favorite word. Work. Yeah. Yeah, on some days, shit, I'll take my hat off to this one and I'll say, shit, I want to give up a lot of days. Not even just give up musically. I just want to give up in life. Like, shit. Sometimes life isn't supposed to be too hard. I mean, it's supposed to be hard, but god damn, sometimes, I mean, you go through those things, and I mean, health-wise, I mean, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I've been that way over 10 years, so that alone makes me want to quit. I mean, just give up every single day. Type 1 diabetes, they say I got a little bipolar in me. They say I got a little anger issue, a little depression. But it all comes with, you know, it all comes with the struggle, it all comes with the fight. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that everything's perfect and that I'm good and that I love this shit, because sometimes I don't love rap music. Sometimes that's my biggest enemy, because sometimes I can't go hard all the time. I mean, there'll be times where I'll hit a drought for a month and I won't be able to come up with nothing good. And then all of a sudden I'll hop in the truck, drive, and boom, it just comes to me. All of a sudden it just starts all coming back like a near-death experience. You start seeing everything flash before your eyes, and you just start. Well, I don't really use a pen and pad no more. I'm all about using the phone and the notepad on the S6. So, you know, I write a lot of my music on this. But yeah, there's some days where I really want to give up. I mean, there's no money in the rap music right now, so I'm making money other ways. But I mean, some days, I mean, you just want to quit. You'll see some other rapper online post a video and they'll be like, God damn, that fucking video's tight. Why the fuck can't I do a video like that? And fucking get mad, throw your phone down, turn your computer off, and, you know, shit. But everybody gets their time to shine, you know? That's been my biggest motto. Like, everybody gets their fucking time. And who knows? Maybe my clock's getting closer, but yeah. I feel like giving up sometimes, but no, I'm here for the long haul. You got me for a while. Yeah. See, some of my favorite rap artists right now that I would say that I'm listening to is this little youngster from Atlanta named 21 Savage. He goes hard as fuck right now. Just raw street music. I mean, yeah, it's about selling drugs, doing all that bad shit, but I mean, there's just something about him. I mean, he comes hard on every song that I've heard him. A lot of energy. He sounds real cool, calm, and collective, but he goes hard. Playboy Cardi, I was just on YouTube and I found some rapper named Playboy Cardi. He goes hard. He had a song called Holyfield right now that I'm stuck on to listening. Let's see who else. Like OJ the Juice Man. That's where I got some of my ad-libs from, my ad-lib game from OJ the Juice Man. KRS-One, I like old school KRS-One. I like Cool G Rap. I like a little bit of Gucci Man, Riff Raff. Fuck. The list could go on and on. I like R.A. the Rugged Man. That's one of my favorite rappers, R.A. the Rugged Man. He responded to one of my Facebook posts one day, so that was pretty dope. He posted some shit like, it was a Saturday night, and he was all, what y'all gonna do on this Friday night, listening to some R.A. the Rugged Man? And I was like, hey, you asshole, it's Saturday. And he posted back, fuck you, you fat nuts. He goes, I don't care what day it is, listen to my music. So, shout out R.A. the Rugged Man. Yeah, that's about it right now. I mean, I listen to a big, wide range of music. I mean, I couldn't even begin to tell you my favorite rapper right now. I listen to, the list goes on and on. I mean, those are a few rappers that I got on my playlist right now. Check them out. They all got YouTube. That's how I discovered all of those rappers, was on YouTube. One more rapper I used to listen to is Sean Price. Rest in peace to Sean Price. He was a dope ass rapper from Brooklyn. From the boot camp clip, he was real dope. That's about it. I don't really listen to too much backpack rap or nothing like that. I used to be into that shit. I mean, you can only rap about outer space and gizmos and gadgets, you know, to a certain extent. So, yeah, that's who I fuck with. Check them out. See, a couple rappers that I would want to work with in the city. I'll start with the second rapper that I would want to work with. His name was like Platinum Back Gorilla or something, some shit like that. He was from the West Side. But he had this song, Driving Down Ocean. It was called Wangin'. It was like, I'm wangin', coming down your neighborhood. something 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 something. That was a fucking dope ass song, but it was called Wangin. I would want to work with him, and the first artist I would want to work with is that little young cat, New Money. He goes hard as fuck right now. I like that Livin' Lavish song. I mean, I fuck with that Livin' Lavish song. That song goes hard, and his new video, Right, I fuck with that. I got that on the playlist on YouTube. But yeah, I would want to work with New Money or that Platinum Bag Gorilla. I think they're going hard right now in the city. I mean, as far as New Money, I don't know. I haven't heard much of the second cat, but New Money's going hard. I see him working, putting out videos. I've seen a few of my homeboys with that stay. I think it's called Extra Trappy or Stay Trappy. But yeah, he's going hard. I would want to work with him in the city. So maybe one of these days, he's right around the corner. I hear he's from West Point over here. So maybe one of these days we'll bump shoulders and we'll get something cracking. But we'll see what happens. Let's go. Let's see. The highlight of my career as an artist would be we were doing this show at House of Rock. Shout out House of Rock. It was called Synchronicity or some shit like that. I could never pronounce the name of the show. But we did this show. There was a lot of artists in the crowd. Evol was there from the Valley. The Fly was there from Houston. I think the Rooster was there from Houston too. There was a bunch of rappers in the house that night. But we did this show. There was a lot of haters there too that night. But we did this show, and during my set, I was going hard as fuck. I was up on stage rapping, and this white kid fucking started screaming his head off, and he picked up a stool over his head and he fucking chunked it. Oof! And it fucking flew, and it almost hit this chick, my homegirl Renee. It almost knocked her unconscious. And to me, that was just fucking awesome because I made him feel that way. I mean, if anybody else would have made him feel that way, he would have done that shit earlier in the night. But he saw me, he got crunk off my energy, and he threw that chair across the room. And that shit just made me feel good because, I mean, how can you make somebody want to do something that dangerous, you know? I mean, how are you gonna be that stupid and throw a chair, a stool in a crowded area? I mean, he did that. I mean, he picked up that thing and he hurled it. Flew right past her head. But that just made me feel real good. That made me feel like, man, he's listening, he's feeling my energy. And that was just a real cool moment. I mean, I've never had that happen to me. I mean, I've had some cool responses from people. I've had girls yell, but I've never had nobody pick up a chair and throw it across the room like that. I apologize to Renee for almost getting hit that night, but that was a fucking dope ass moment. One of my highlights, probably the biggest highlight in my career. So, yeah. Yo, what's good? This is UW Fat Nuts. Back at the end of this little interview, had a good fucking time. Shout out to Sharkman, Deepwater Records, you know. Look out for this documentary. It's real good. I mean, filled up with fucking top-notch artists from top to bottom. I'm looking forward to checking it out because me, I'm a fan of local music. Back in the day, maybe not so much, but now I've opened my mind a little bit more. I've learned that we've all got a lot to say from the small-ass dangerous city that we live in. And I just want to give a quick shout-out. One shout-out. I want to give a shout-out. I'll give two shout-outs. Give a shout-out to my parents because I love them. They support me. Shout-out them. Shout-out Nico G. That's my fucking road dog money team right there. I love that dude with all my heart. That's a real good friend right there. So, you know, everything gets better. So, right now, things might not look so good for you, but don't worry. I mean, shit. Bad times don't last forever. I mean, something good is bound to happen. So, this is UW Fat Nuts. Be on the lookout. Catch me at House of Rock not every Tuesday, maybe like every other Tuesday. I'll be doing open mic there. I got a little EP coming out called Fuck You Dub, which it stands for Finally You Can Know Unwanted. That stands for. And you know, catch me. I'll be at the corner store. I'll be at the HEB on Port. I'm everywhere, up and down this motherfucker. UW Fat Nuts. Peace.
Fresh nights all the way to the island. Picture perfect day so a nigga stay styling, smiling. 4 deep grinding, moves to the top, man. Hit the black man with no remorse. Dropping bomb through the course, man. But of course, man, deep water boat, man. Shark man in the tank, man. With the stoke man in the lane. Watching blunts disappear like David Blaine.